Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into a topic that I know a lot of you are interested in, those foods that may naturally boost testosterone levels.
We'll be looking at the science behind some of the most common claims. And as always, we're here to help you separate fact from fiction.
Sounds good to me. Let's start with something that often gets a bad rap when it comes to health. Eggs.
Right. People often worry about the cholesterol in eggs,
Yeah.
but dietary cholesterol and blood cholesterol, those are two different things.
Okay, interesting.
Cholesterol is actually super important. It's a building block for hormones, including testosterone. And this is one reason why people on a vegan diet where they're not eating eggs or other animal products sometimes see lower testosterone levels.
Makes you think twice about those egg white omelets, right?
Absolutely. And eggs also bring more to the table than just cholesterol.
Oh yeah, like what?
They've got this perfect balance of amino acids, which are essential for building protein. And we know protein is crucial for muscle growth and repair. And those processes are closely tied to testosterone production.
I see. So we're talking about the quality of the protein in eggs too, not just the quantity.
Exactly. The protein in eggs is what we call highly bioavailable, meaning your body can easily absorb and use it.
Okay, so eggs are definitely a contender in the testosterone boosting food category. Now let's switch gears and talk about another food that's often in the spotlight. Red meat. Think back to those old school bodybuilders, guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who swore by their steak and eggs.
Ah, yes, the classics.
So is there something more to that than just building muscle?
Well, red meat, especially the grass-fed and pasture-raised kinds, is packed with zinc. And zinc is essential for testosterone production. If you're deficient in zinc, your testosterone levels can take a hit.
Got it. So red meat might actually live up to its reputation as a food that can support healthy testosterone levels. But what about people who can't eat red meat, maybe for health reasons or ethical reasons? What are their options?
Great question. Bison is a really good alternative.
Poison, really?
It's leaner than beef, and some people argue it has even more nutrients.
Interesting. So bison burgers might be on the menu for those looking to boost testosterone naturally.
Exactly. And if red meat or bison aren't an option at all, there's always the possibility of taking zinc supplements.
Ah, that makes sense. Are there any tips for choosing the right zinc supplement?
You might want to look for one that also includes copper. They work well together.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So we've got eggs, red meat, bison, and zinc supplements, all potentially boosting testosterone. Now let's move on to a food that's practically synonymous with romance. Oysters. They've got that reputation as an aphrodisiac.
Oysters have quite the reputation.
Is there any truth to that, or is it just a myth?
Well, oysters are also loaded with zinc, which we've already established is important for testosterone production. But there's more to the story.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Zinc also helps to keep other hormones in check, hormones that can actually have a negative impact on testosterone as men get older.
What kind of hormones are we talking about?
DHT and estrogen.
Okay, I'm listening. What's the connection?
As men age, testosterone naturally converts into DHT and estrogen, and too much of either can lead to problems.
Problems like what?
Well, too much DHT can contribute to things like hair loss and prostate issues. And with estrogen, we're talking about things like increased body fat and even, in some cases, the development of breast tissue.
So zinc essentially helps to regulate these conversions.
Exactly. It helps to keep those hormones balanced so testosterone can stay at healthier levels. That's one reason why oysters have that aphrodisiac reputation.
It all starts to make sense. So we've got a lot of interesting information here. But is eating oysters every day really the key to boosting testosterone? Would you do it? We'll discuss this more and also debunk some common food myths when we come back.
It's not just about adding certain foods to your diet.
Right.
It's also about being mindful of what you might want to limit.
So are there foods that can actually hinder testosterone production?
Definitely. The usual suspects. Processed foods,
Of course.
lots of sugar, and unhealthy fats. Those can really mess with your hormonal balance, leading to lower testosterone.
We hear so much about the negative effects of sugar, but how exactly does it affect testosterone?
Well, when you eat a lot of sugar, your body pumps out insulin to deal with it.
Right.
But if your insulin levels are constantly high, it can interfere with testosterone production.
I see.
Plus, all that sugar often leads to weight gain and more body fat, which also doesn't do any favors for your testosterone levels.
It's like a domino effect. One thing leads to another.
Exactly. It can be a vicious cycle.
So cutting back on sugar seems like a smart move for anyone wanting to optimize their testosterone.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about sugar. The types of fat you consume also matter.
We're always hearing about good fats and bad fats. How do they affect testosterone differently?
Healthy fats, like the ones you find in avocados, nuts, olive oil,
Right.
those are actually crucial for hormone production. They help your body make testosterone and keep everything balanced.
So incorporating those healthy fats into your diet is important.
Yes. And on the flip side, those unhealthy fats, things like trans fats and too much saturated fat, those can have a negative impact on testosterone production.
So it's all about finding that balance.
Exactly. Now, earlier we were talking about zinc being important for testosterone and how foods like oysters and red meat are good sources of zinc.
Right.
But let's dig a little deeper into how zinc actually works in the body.
I'm all ears. I always find this part fascinating.
So zinc plays a key role in regulating the conversion of testosterone into other hormones, specifically DHT and estrogen.
Okay.
And as men age, more of their testosterone gets converted into these other hormones, and that can lead to some unwanted changes.
Right, like we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Now, zinc actually inhibits the activity of a particular enzyme. It's called 5-alpha reductase, and this enzyme is what converts testosterone into DHT.
So zinc is like a gatekeeper.
You could say that. By blocking that enzyme, zinc can help to reduce the negative effects of too much DHT. Things like hair loss and problems with the prostate.
Interesting. So getting enough zinc might actually help protect against some of those age-related issues.
Potentially, yes. And zinc also plays a role in regulating estrogen levels in men.
Estrogen, I thought that was a female hormone.
It is, but men have it too, just in smaller amounts.
Okay.
And as men get older, more of their testosterone is converted into estrogen, which again can lead to some unwanted changes.
Yes.
Well, increased body fat is one. And in some cases, men can even develop breast tissue. It's a condition called gynecomastia.
I can see why men would want to avoid that. So how does zinc help with this?
Zinc influences the activity of another enzyme called aromatase. And this enzyme is responsible for converting testosterone into estrogens.
So zinc is controlling that conversion process.
Exactly. It helps keep estrogen levels in check so testosterone isn't being excessively converted.
It seems like zinc is this master regulator, keeping all these hormones in balance.
It's all about maintaining that delicate hormonal harmony.
And zinc is a key player in that orchestra.
That's a great way to put it.
So today we've explored the fascinating link between diet, hormones, and overall health. We've talked about the potential of certain foods to naturally boost testosterone levels, like eggs, red meat, and oysters. And we've delved deeper into the role of zinc and how it works to regulate those hormonal conversions.
Right.
It's important to remember that everyone is different,
Of course.
and how your body responds to these dietary changes can vary. So it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor or a healthcare professional
Yes.
for personalized advice. It's amazing to think that what we eat can have such a big impact on our hormones.
Absolutely. Food plays a crucial role, but let's not forget about other lifestyle factors. Things like sleep, stress management, and exercise.
Right. Those all contribute to overall health.
Right.
But let's break it down. Starting with sleep. How does sleep affect testosterone?
Well, your body actually produces and releases testosterone while you sleep. So if you're not getting enough shut-eye, your testosterone production can take a hit.
So it's not just about feeling tired and groggy, it's actually affecting hormone levels.
Exactly. Studies have shown that men who consistently sleep less than 5 hours a night tend to have lower testosterone than those who get 7 or 8 hours of good sleep.
So getting enough sleep is crucial. What about stress? How does that factor in?
When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, which is the stress hormone.
Right, we all know about cortisol.
But if your cortisol levels are chronically elevated, that can interfere with testosterone production.
They work against each other then.
Essentially, yes. As cortisol goes up, testosterone tends to go down.
So managing stress is important not just for our mental well-being, but also for our hormonal balance. What are some good ways to manage stress that could help in this area?
There are lots of things you can try. Regular exercise is a great one.
Okay.
Meditation and deep breathing exercises can also help. And even just spending time in nature can make a difference.
Those all sound great. We've covered sleep, stress. Now let's talk exercise. Does the type of exercise matter when it comes to testosterone?
It does. Resistance training like weightlifting and high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, have been shown to boost testosterone levels.
I can see why. Those workouts really challenge your muscles.
Exactly. They stimulate muscle growth and repair, which are processes closely linked to testosterone production.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
You could say that.
You're building muscle, which in turn boosts testosterone. It's fascinating how everything's interconnected.
Absolutely. It highlights the importance of a holistic approach to health. Your diet, your sleep, how you manage stress, your exercise routine, all these things play a role in your hormonal balance and your overall well-being.
That's a great takeaway.
Yeah,
It's not just about one thing, it's about the big picture.
exactly.
Well, I think this has been an incredibly informative deep dive. We've learned a lot about those foods that have the potential to naturally increase testosterone, like eggs, red meat, oysters.
Right.
We've also learned about the importance of zinc and how it works to regulate those key hormonal conversions.
We've also talked about the importance of lifestyle factors like sleep, stress management, and exercise, and how they all contribute to a healthy hormonal balance.
If you're looking for more evidence-based information on health, fitness, and longevity, make sure to check out our channel Health Facts. We're always exploring the latest research and sharing practical strategies to help you on your health journey.